If you finish a workout and you feel wiped out, a lot of people blame fitness, but sometimes it's hydration strategy. And here's the twist. Drinking only water can be the wrong move for some workouts, because sweat is not just water. It's water plus minerals, especially sodium. So the real question is not should you drink, it's what are you replacing. If you replace only water after a salty sweat session, you can stay thirsty, get a headache, or feel oddly flat even after a big bottle. On the other hand, if you jump to electrolytes every time you move, you might be adding stuff you don't need. In this breakdown, you'll get a simple mental model. When plain water is enough, when electrolytes are likely to work better, and how to estimate it using a few signals you can actually notice, like sweat rate, workout length, and what your urine is doing afterward. No hype, just a practical way to rehydrate so you recover faster and feel normal again. Moving to slide 2. Start with what you are actually losing. Sweat is mostly water, but it also carries electrolytes. Electrolytes are minerals with an electrical charge in fluid. Sodium is the big one for hydration.
Potassium, magnesium, and chloride matter too, but sodium is the main driver of fluid balance after exercise. Your body uses sodium to hold water in the bloodstream and in a space between cells.
When sodium drops, your kidneys tend to dump more water. That can make you pee out what you just drank. It can also make you feel like the water is not sticking. Sweat sodium varies a lot between people. Some people are light sweaters. Some people leave white salt marks on dark shirts. Some people get stinging eyes from salty sweat. Those are clues you might be losing more sodium.
So, the core idea is simple. Rehydration is not just refilling the tank.
It is restoring the right mix, so the water stays where it is useful, and your nervous system and muscles can return to normal function. Moving to slide 3. Now, when is plain water enough? A good default is shorter sessions, lower intensity, cool environments, and modest sweating. Think a 30 to 45-minute strength session with long rest periods, or an easy jog where you are not dripping. In those cases, you probably did not lose enough sodium to make electrolytes necessary. Water plus your normal meals usually covers it. And if you are eating within a couple hours, food brings sodium back in a very reliable way. A simple check is how you feel 20 to 40 minutes after drinking. If thirst settles, your mouth does not feel dry, and you are not running to the bathroom repeatedly, water is likely doing the job. Another check is urine color later. Pale yellow is a decent sign. Completely clear all day can mean you are overdoing fluids. Dark apple juice color can mean you are behind. So water is not the villain. It is just incomplete for certain sweat profiles. Moving to slide 4. Electrolytes tend to help when sweat losses are high. The easiest triggers are duration, heat, and heavy sweating. If you trained hard for over an hour, or you were in hot, humid conditions, your sodium loss can be meaningful. Another trigger is repeated sessions. 2 workouts in a day, or training several days in a row with big sweat, can stack the deficit. You might feel fine after day 1, then day 3 hits, and you feel unusually drained. And then there's the personal factor. If you are a salty sweater, you can need electrolytes even in moderate conditions. Those white streaks on clothing are basically a message. Electrolytes can also help if you drink water and still feel thirsty, lightheaded when standing, or you get a dull headache that is not explained by sleep or food. To be clear, those symptoms can have many causes. But in the context of a sweaty workout, electrolytes are a reasonable lever to test. Moving to slide 5. Let's make this practical with a simple decision tree. Step 1. Estimate sweat loss. You do not need lab gear. Weigh yourself before and after a workout, without clothes soaked in sweat. The difference is mostly fluid. If you are down half a kilogram, that is roughly half a liter of fluid. Down 1 kilogram, roughly 1 liter. If you drank during a session, add that amount back in to estimate total sweat loss. Step 2. Decide the mix. If total loss is small, water is fine. If total loss is large, especially over 1 liter, adding sodium becomes more relevant. Step 3. Replace gradually. Chugging a huge volume fast can upset your stomach and can increase urine loss. A steadier intake over the next hour or two tends to work better. This is the point where electrolytes stop being a vague wellness thing and become a measurable tool. You can test it and see if you recover more predictably. Moving to slide 6. So how much should you drink after?
A common sports nutrition guideline is to replace about 125 to 150% of the fluid you lost over the next few hours. That extra accounts for ongoing urine losses. Example, if you lost 1 liter in sweat, you might aim for 1.25 to 1.5 liters over the next 2 to 4 hours, not all at once. But there is a reality check. If you are eating a meal soon, you will get fluid from food. Soups, fruit, yogurt, cooked grains, even just water inside meals. So you can scale the drinking down a bit if a meal is part of your recovery. Also, pay attention to your stomach. If fluid sloshing is happening, slow down. Small frequent sips often outperform big gulps. And if you are still training later the same day, earlier rehydration matters more. Waiting until you feel bad is usually too late. Moving to slide 7. Now let's talk sodium, because this is where electrolytes actually do work. Sports drinks and electrolyte mixes vary massively. Some are basically flavored water. Some are sodium forward. A practical range for post-workout rehydration is often around 300 to 600 milligrams of sodium per liter of fluid. Heavy sweaters, very long sessions, or hot conditions can push higher. But you do not need to chase extreme numbers unless you know you lose a lot. If you're using a powder, check the label for sodium, not just the word electrolytes. If you're using tablets, look at sodium per tablet and the intended water volume. And you can also get sodium from food. A normal meal with salted foods can easily cover a meaningful amount. That is why electrolytes are most useful when you need fast replacement. You are not eating soon, or you are trying to rehydrate between sessions. So think sodium first, then the other minerals as supporting actors. Moving to slide 8. What about potassium and magnesium? They matter, but in a different way than most marketing suggests. Potassium is mainly inside cells, and you get a lot from food. Potatoes, beans, dairy, leafy greens, fruit. For most people, post-workout potassium is handled by meals unless the session is very long or you are sweating heavily for hours. Magnesium is involved in muscle and nerve function, but it is not a primary driver of acute fluid retention the way sodium is. If an electrolyte product has a little magnesium, fine, but huge doses can upset the stomach for some people. So if you are choosing a mix, prioritize adequate sodium, moderate potassium, and modest magnesium. And do not forget chloride. It usually comes with sodium as salt, and it supports fluid balance too. The simplest approach is boring but effective. Get sodium right for rehydration. Get potassium and magnesium right across your overall diet. Moving to slide 9. Let's cover the 2 big mistakes. First, under-replacing. You finish a hard session, you drink a little, then you get busy. Later you feel tired, your heart rate feels higher than normal, and the next workout feels harder. That can be a hydration debt. Second, overdrinking plain water. This is less common, but it happens when someone tries to be disciplined and keeps pounding water after a very sweaty workout. If sodium is not coming in, blood sodium can dilute. In extreme cases, that is dangerous. More often, it just feels like nausea, bloating, headache, and constant bathroom trips. A safer pattern is to drink to thirst, then use structure. Replace what you lost over a few hours. Include sodium when losses are high. And eat a normal meal. If you ever feel severe confusion, vomiting, or symptoms that escalate, that is not a hydration hack problem. That is a medical problem. For normal training, though, avoiding these 2 mistakes fixes most rehydration issues. Moving to slide 10. Let's get specific with real-world scenarios. Scenario 1. A 40-minute lifting session. Moderate sweat. Climate-controlled. Water is usually enough. If you eat afterward, you are covered. Scenario 2. A 75 to 90-minute run. Steady pace. You are drenched. Water plus sodium is a better bet. That can be an electrolyte mix, or water with a salty meal soon after. Scenario 3. A long bike ride, 2 hours plus. Here, Electrolytes during and after tend to work better, because you are losing sodium for a long time. Plain water alone can leave you chasing thirst. Scenario 4. Team sports or intervals in heat. High intensity plus heat can spike sweat rate. Electrolytes become more useful, even if the session is not super long. Scenario 5. You barely sweat, short session. You just feel thirsty. Water first. If symptoms persist across multiple workouts, then test electrolytes. Use scenarios like these to stop guessing. Moving to slide 11. What about homemade options? If you want something simple, you can build a basic electrolyte drink with water and sodium, plus a small amount of carbohydrate if you tolerate it. Carbs can help absorption in the gut, and they can support glycogen refill after endurance work. You do not need a lot. Even a modest amount of sugar can improve fluid uptake. But if you are watching sugar intake, you can still do sodium without much sweetness. A practical approach is using mineral water that already contains sodium, or adding a measured pinch of salt to a bottle, then flavoring with a squeeze of citrus for taste. The exact amounts matter, so start conservative. Too much salt tastes awful and can cause stomach issues. If you prefer commercial mixes, look for transparent labeling and a sodium dose that matches your sweat loss. If it only has tiny sodium, it may not do much. The goal is not fancy. It is replacing what left your body. Moving to slide 12. Let's talk about timing, because people obsess over what to drink and forget when. Right after training, your body is primed to absorb fluid, but your stomach still has a limit. So the best timing is a steady ramp. A few good mouthfuls right away, then keep sipping over the next hour. If you are very dehydrated, splitting fluids into smaller doses can reduce nausea and improve retention. And if you include sodium, you often notice that thirst calms down sooner. That is a useful feedback signal. If you are training again later, front-load more of your rehydration earlier. Waiting until the evening can leave you starting session 2 already behind. Also, do not forget cooling down. Breathing settles, heart rate drops, and then your thirst signals become clearer. Sometimes you think you need a liter immediately, but after 10 minutes you realize you just needed a few sips and some food. Timing is basically the difference between guessing and executing. Moving to slide 13. Here is a quick troubleshooting guide you can run after any workout. If you drink water and you are still thirsty 30 minutes later, consider sodium, especially if the session was long or sweaty. If you are peeing very clear and very often, you might be overdoing plain water. Pull back a bit and add sodium with your next fluids or meal. If you have muscle cramping, do not assume it is only electrolytes. Cramps are complicated. Fatigue, pacing, and training load matter a lot. But if cramps happen alongside heavy sweating and salt marks, electrolytes are worth testing. If you get a headache after training, check 3 things: fluids, sodium, and food. Low energy intake can mimic dehydration. And if you feel dizzy when standing, that can be fluid and sodium related. But it can also be recovery stress. Use the context. What was the workout? How hot was it? How much did you sweat? Small adjustments beat random guessing. Moving to slide 14. Let's wrap this into a simple plan you can actually follow. Step 1. After most normal workouts, start with water. Do not overthink it. Step 2. If the workout was long, hot, or you were drenched, add electrolytes with a sodium focus, either through a mix or through a salty meal and fluids. Step 3. Use the scale method once or twice to learn your sweat rate. You will stop guessing. You will know if you typically lose half a liter or 2 liters. Step 4. Replace fluid over a few hours, not in 5 minutes. Your gut and kidneys will cooperate more. And step 5. Pay attention to feedback. Thirst that does not settle, headaches, and endless clear urine are signals to adjust the mix. If you want more practical breakdowns like this, subscribe once for evidence-based training nutrition. And for a quick check-in, comment A or B. A is mostly water after workouts. B is electrolytes most of the time. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Better recovery, better performance, better aging.